Welcome to the graduation of the class of 2016J of INSEAD, the business school for the world. This year sees the class return for graduation to the place where the school was born, the Château of Fontainebleau, one of the most historic castles in the world. The class finish their education and embark on their international business careers at the place where INSEAD began as one man's dream. George Doriot, a professor at Harvard, understood the need to create a business school for Europe that would be based in France while being truly international, independent and close to business. In the post-war period of the 50s, Europe was looking for a new identity. In March 1957, the Treaty of Rome led to the European Economic Community. The time was right for Doriot's dream to become reality. All he required was the vision, energy and talent of a few loyal supporters. The committee developed a firm set of operating principles and a pioneering curriculum for a program that was to become the world's first one-year MBA. The search for premises that would match our requirements was difficult, given that we had no government or university backing. A temporary solution was found in the Fontainebleau Palace. And on Saturday, 12th of September 1959, the opening ceremony of the first MBA intake took place. The first promotion was formed by 57 participants from throughout Europe, Morocco and the US. INSEAD was already reaching out beyond the borders of Europe. Less than a year later, the promotion graduated and the graduates immediately formed INSEAD Alumni Association. The school grew rapidly in size, quality and reach, and by the mid-1960s, INSEAD's needs for a place of its own was becoming urgent. 5 hectares of land was found adjacent to the Fontainebleau forest, and the state-of-the-art campus was inaugurated in 1967. Faithful to its founding principle of being close to business, INSEAD launched its first executive education program in 1968 and steadily grew its portfolio and initiated customer-specific education. In 1974, following a first highly successful program focusing on Asian business, the institution launched a fundraising campaign which would result in the opening of INSEAD's Euro-Asia Center in 1980, establishing a lasting and fruitful bond with Asia's business world. By the mid-1980s, INSEAD was recognized worldwide for its academic excellence and outstanding faculty. But without a doctoral program, it would never be considered the equal of top US schools. In 1989, INSEAD welcomed its first 6 doctoral students, as outstanding as they were diverse. In 1996, following a successful fundraising campaign and building on the fruitful relationship initiated through the Euro-Asia Center, the board decided to make a bold move and build a full-service, equal-status campus in Asia. The MBA program, which had 2 intakes a year since 1983, would now run in parallel on the new campus in Singapore, so that participants could switch between sites. In true INSEAD style, the school did not wait for the campus to be built, and in September 1999 welcomed the first class of 53 pioneers from 25 countries in rented facilities. The Singapore campus was officially opened in September 2000 and has been growing ever since. In 2003, in response to increased demand for a part-time MBA degree meeting the needs of senior executives, the school launched its Executive MBA program, once again giving the well-established format its own distinctive twist. Within 5 years, the 14-month program would enter the rankings in the top 10. Yet another of INSEAD's ambitious ideas had been transformed through action into achievement. With sister campuses operating in Europe and Asia, INSEAD could live up to its promise of being the business school for the world, a position which would be reinforced in 2007 with the establishment of the Abu Dhabi Research Center, which has now grown to INSEAD's Middle East campus, hosting executive education, executive MBA, and MBA teaching. After almost 6 decades of groundbreaking initiatives, unparalleled education delivered, and an ever-increasing mark on the business community, INSEAD has been ranked in 2016 to the unprecedented position of triple #1 school worldwide for its dual degree Executive MBA, single school EMBA, and of course, its MBA program. The story began with one man and his remarkable vision of the future. However, there is no question that without the actions and achievements of thousands of men and women, INSEAD would still be an idea, not the business school for the world. This graduating class stands on the shoulders of these giants who have come before. As each class has gone on to fill some of the best positions in business and industry, we are sure that this class of 16J will be no different. Their future achievements begin today. Let's go live now to the Château, where the ceremony is about to begin.
Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, and graduating class of 16J, and to all the viewers around the world, a warm welcome to the Château de Fontainebleau here in a very sunny France. My name is Anand Vengerlekar. I'm the Chief Communications Officer at INSEAD. It's my duty and honor now to place today's ceremony into context and to introduce the official witnesses and the Master of Graduation, all of whom will soon join us. First, however, I'd like to speak directly to the mothers, fathers, and friends who have traveled from over 70 countries to be here today. I've no doubt that it's been a crazy journey for you coming here and an equally crazy day. You've had to catch a sequence of planes and trains and cars and have probably been rushed around campus and shown Amphi A and Amphi B. You've been shown breakout rooms and the cafe, and I can assure you that your loved one has spent every single day and every night in those places this year. And you finally get to sit down. In a short while, our Dean of Degree Programs will lead a ceremony where you will witness your graduate walk across this stage to collect a diploma. These few steps and a simple piece of paper are symbolic of the journey of hard work that they have taken this year and the entitlement to be called graduates of INSEAD for the rest of their lives. However, the importance of your attendance today is not just to watch this ceremony. It is symbolic of the guardianship and hard work that you have shown in every single step of their education and upbringing, day after day for years to this day at this ceremony. For the years that you've walked side by side with them, stressed with them in every test, and helped in their journey up the education ladder to today, this graduation is as much yours as theirs. Therefore, 16J, I'm sure you agree your parents and loved ones deserve the first round of applause. And where are we sitting? Where are we having this graduation? I hope you've all had a chance to walk around this historic Château de Fontainebleau. For centuries, the beautiful walls of this chateau have been witness to different kinds of leadership. For centuries, it was people who believed that leadership was not earned but bestowed as a divine right. Then came heads of state who believed that leadership was demonstrated by military prowess and the conquest of others, even as they mimicked the desires of those who had come before. Indeed, Napoleon, who took over the chateau, once described it as the true residence of kings. However, in 1957, a new generation, a school, took residence that had a unique passion for leadership as a service. They had seen the true horror of what military conquest could do and had personally striven to end it. They came with a singular vision that business could bring people together, and they chose to commit their lives to this new vision of leadership. When you've all been shown around the school today, it's easy to see why today somebody would come to study at such facilities. But imagine beginning with just a vision of what Europe and the world could be. Imagine the power of such a vision and how it attracted the generations of INSEADers before you. Imagine the kind of people who could create such a vision that has resonated down the decades since then and will continue to do so. It is no exaggeration to say that these people are giants and all of us stand on their shoulders. We are very, very lucky today that some of them can be here to join the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to introduce some of them as official witnesses to your graduation. Our procession is led by one of the co-founders of INSEAD and the school's former Director General. Today he is Honorary Chairman of the INSEAD Foundation. Please welcome Olivier Giscard d'Estaing. We are honored today to be joined by INSEAD alumni returning after 50 and 55 years. Both classes remember what it was like to study here at the Chateau and live out the INSEAD vision in their careers and lives. The alumni who are here today include Michel Gauthier, founder and first chairman of the INSEAD Alumni Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the INSEAD classes of 1961 and 1966. INSEAD has always prided itself on its world-leading academic excellence and the quality of its staff. At the heart of INSEAD's international reputation is the relevance and rigor of its research, teaching, and learning materials. All of these are created through the passion, experience, and talents of our faculty, which is second to none. All of these are supported by staff who labor in the background day and night to ensure that INSEAD is the best campus in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome representative members of INSEAD's faculty and staff. Now, INSEAD would not be where it is today without the leadership and vision of its founders over 50 years ago. And INSEAD will continue to drive over the next 50 years because of this leadership today. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. And please welcome one of the founders of INSEAD and today the honorary chairman of the board and chairman of the International Council, Claude Jensen, accompanied by Taliki Jensen. Joining him, please welcome the Dean of INSEAD today, Professor Ilian Mihov. Please be seated. Okay, now that we're all here, I would like to introduce the Master of Ceremonies for your graduation, Dean Urs Peyer. Dean Peyer is an Associate Professor of Finance at INSEAD. He holds a PhD in Finance from the University of North Carolina. He teaches on the MBA, PhD, and Executive Education programs. Before, he has previously worked in the portfolio management team for a subsidiary of Credit Suisse, and he was a jet pilot in the Swiss Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dean Urs Peyer.
Thank you. Dear parents, partners, family members, friends, INSEAD faculty, INSEAD alumni, staff, dear Monsieur le Président du Château de Fontainebleau, dear guests from the Mairie de Fontainebleau, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the INSEAD MBA class July 2016 Fontainebleau edition. Thank you all for coming out today to celebrate this very special day for our graduates. It is a pleasure to have Ilian Mihov, to have Claude Chansen, and to have our graduation speaker, Florian Langenscheid, here on stage with me today. Dear 16Js, today we celebrate your achievement on completing the most intense global education in the world, the INSEAD MBA. INSEAD's founders, of which we are fortunate to have two here, Claude and Olivier, have been very entrepreneurial and created the first MBA outside the US, the first one-year MBA, and the first truly global business school. You, as 16Js, you have also pioneered and expanded the frontiers again this year. 45 students of yours spent P3 in our new Middle East campus in Abu Dhabi. And 400 others would have liked to go. There are another two firsts, which you've heard a little bit before. You're also the first to graduate with an INSEAD MBA, being ranked the #1 MBA in the world by the Financial Times. Congratulations. And you are the first in over 50 years to graduate again in this beautiful Château de Fontainebleau. Now let me talk a little bit about the MBA that you've gone through, and it's really, the MBA is about three things. It's about learning, it's about career development, and it's about networking. So let me start with learning, and this is to assure your parents, friends, spouses, and other financiers that you have done a lot. INSEAD's MBA is the most intense MBA in the world. You've managed to take 80% of the coursework of a 2-year MBA in 10 months. And yes, that's from the parents to you. Yes, absolutely. You have, in addition to taking all the coursework, you've run a job search, and you've gone on field trips, you've done interviews, and you've done, other things. It just does not come as a surprise that the elective that most students have taken is negotiations and managerial decision-making. But also very popular in your cohort was your first 100 days. Many of you have taken it recently in the last couple of weeks, and it was great to see you handling emergencies, customers complaining, financing solutions finding, and employees going on strike. I can tell you that comes in handy around here. Now at this point, let me thank the INSEAD faculty and staff for providing an inspiring learning environment, for challenging your thinking, but also for creating opportunities for you to learn from each other, to test new behaviors in your groups, in larger settings, and to really get to know each other, this very diverse set of talented students. These skills and competencies, I know, will come in handy in your future careers. Careers that are taking many of you to new countries, to new companies, and to new functions. By the latest count, the 16Js will be going to more than 50 countries. Now, at this point, I should also say a big thank you to the careers team and advisors who help us and help you to find all of these new jobs around the world. Now, that spreading out across the world is great, and I can guarantee you, you will surely find an alumni network near where you're going, and that network, I know, is going to be very, very strong, because you have built a very strong network while you're here. The same is true for the alumni. Now, about that networking. As near as I can tell, you have done more than 100% of traveling and socializing of a 2-year MBA program. About 70% of you have actually studied on both campuses, Fontainebleau and Singapore. 10% have been studying in the Middle East campus, and another 10% have been going on exchange to the United States. The networking has also brought some entrepreneurial success stories. Among the 16Js, built with teams of 16Js. Just 2 weeks ago, at the INSEAD Venture Competition Finals, José Leon, Antoine Poisson, Prabhala Singh, all 16Js have won the first prize. Have won the first prize for their entrepreneurial idea called Stand Plus, a platform to more efficiently organize emergency responses. And the Coromandel Foundation Social Impact Award has also gone to a group of 16Js. Adam, Dami, Marie-Renée won for their idea. Right. They won for their idea called Be Sure, that provides low-cost health insurance in Lagos. But the networking does not stop at business relationships. You really have become a family, an INSEAD family. And you know, the recent tragic loss of Caroline has shown us how close we have all grown together, how much Caroline's enormous character, energy, passion, and strength means to us. And it has shown me how much you are there for each other. I know, going forward, you will maintain and grow the many relationships you have built within the INSEAD community. I know you will go to birthday parties and weddings. Some will become godmothers and godfathers of kids of their MBA friends. You celebrate each other's successes, but I now know that you'll also be there for each other in less glorious moments. The bonds established here at INSEAD still do require work, but you have built the most solid foundation that I've ever witnessed to have a supportive and caring network going forward when you come back 50, 55 years from now to be here with the alumni that you see here. In that position, I am sure you will still be melted together. Let me end with my wishes for you. I truly hope that each and every one of you is graduating today being richer in knowledge, ready to make a positive impact on the companies and the people you will be working with, but also richer in friendships from around the world. Good luck, class of 16J. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Ilian Mihov, Dean of INSEAD. Ilian has joined INSEAD in 1996 as a professor in economics. His research in macroeconomics and growth are a perfect match for the ambition of INSEAD as the business school for the world. As an academic, he has also been a frequent guest on CNBC's Squawk Box, commenting on macroeconomic policies during the financial crisis. Ilian started his distinguished academic career receiving not one but two fellowships at Princeton for his PhD. The second one was specifically to collaborate with Ben Bernanke, former US Federal Reserve Chairman. Together, they have published 4 papers, one of which was on the Great Depression era. At INSEAD, before becoming the dean, Ilian has been teaching the macroeconomic core courses, and between 2006 and 2009, teaching 4 sections each time, he won 3 out of 4 times the best core course teaching award. He was also nominated for teaching awards in the Executive MBA. Now, a less well-known fact is that Ilian was also nominated to be the Deputy Prime Minister of Bulgaria, which fortunately for us, he did turn down. Please help me welcome INSEAD's Dean, Ilian Mihov.
Thank you very much, Urs, for this introduction. It's actually amazing looking at you, the class of 16J. It's amazing because you are INSEAD. INSEAD is not a building. INSEAD is not the dean or the board of directors or the faculty. INSEAD is a living organism that continuously changes. It's not a fixed thing. It's ever evolving, and you are the ones that make INSEAD so special. It's so great. I'm so proud to stand here and to look at you, because I know that you'll be the ones that will make us proud as being part of this community. I know that I have a lot of things to say to you. I'll try to be relatively quick. I know that most people do not remember this kind of speeches going forward. I had my experience with my first graduation in 2013 D, as a first graduation as a dean. I prepared my speech very carefully, thinking about every single point. And then, as I was going in, I remembered this episode from my teaching in 2008, that you should not have very high expectations of people remembering you or what you say. I was teaching 4 sections of MBAs in 2008. In the first session, I tried to remember the name of everybody. By session 4, I know the names of all my students, 270 students. I know them by name. And I expect that the students will know me as well, which is a reasonable expectation, I think. However, after the first session, so 4 sections, 90 minutes, the next day I go to INSEAD, dressed in jeans and a t-shirt. I go in the elevator, I see one of my students who was sitting on the front row. And I say to him, hi. He says, hello. And I ask him, how are you? He said, I'm okay. Then he turns to me and says, how are you? I said, I'm fine. And then he asks, are you P1 or P3? Now, this is very touching, but at the same time, I was 90 minutes in front of him, jumping up and down. I have no idea what his mind was, obviously not in class. So my expectations should be moderated as people remembering, but still, I think that it's an amazing event. I think that this is by far the most exciting graduation that we have ever done. It's a special graduation, a historical one. INSEAD started just around the corner here in 1959 with their first class here in the Château of Fontainebleau, with 57 students, and today, 57 years later, INSEAD is the #1 business school in the world. It's an amazing journey. Today we have some very special guests with us. This graduation is taking place here because of our excellent relationship and cooperation with the president of the Château of Fontainebleau, Jean-François Hébert. Thank you very much for everything you do with us. I also want to mention that our distinguished alumnus and the chairman of the executive board of Galeries Lafayette, Philippe José, MBA from 1975, believed very strongly that we have to reconnect with our roots, and having a graduation in the Château of Fontainebleau would be a very important part in this direction. So this graduation has been made possible by a very generous donation from Galeries Lafayette. So again, a very committed alumnus who helped us be where we are today. We are grateful also for the continuous support to INSEAD by the Mairie of Fontainebleau. And today we're very fortunate to have with us people who actually made INSEAD a reality. Our first Dean of INSEAD, Olivier Giscard d'Estaing, is here. Our honorary chairman, Claude Janssen, and his wife, our long-term supporter, Tuliki Janssen. I would say, and I think that we should all stop for a second and think about this, you would not be here, I would not be here, if these people did not do what they did. So please, let's thank them with our applause for what they did and made INSEAD a reality. It is also an extraordinary event because for the first time we have a graduation that combines the graduating class, soon to be alumni, with the alumni that graduated in 1961 and 1966. If you have time later on, I know you'll be talking with each other, but do talk to these people. It is amazing to learn what INSEAD looked like 50, 60 years ago. And we're very privileged to have all these people with us today. Thank you for joining us. I would like to welcome also our guest of honor, our speaker, Florian Langenscheidt. He's publisher, author, director, columnist, and the most important thing about him, he is an INSEAD alumnus from 1985J. Thank you, Florian, for being here. Of course, I would like to welcome also other members of the INSEAD community, friends of INSEAD, faculty and staff. And I want also to express a very special welcome to the families, the MBA's families, partners, and parents. It is fair to say that here we have gathered to celebrate your achievements, but also theirs. They have contributed significantly by supporting you financially and emotionally, and we know that emotional support is even more important sometimes. INSEAD is a unique place with great things happening in the classroom and outside of the classroom, and sometimes with a lot of tension. So having somebody like them to support you was very important. It's a very difficult place from time to time. Please give them a well-deserved round of applause for what they have done for you. In the back. So I want to say basically three things about INSEAD, and then we'll proceed with the ceremony. First, I want to say that we have to recognize how amazing INSEAD is. It's a unique place. It started in post-war Europe, not just to have management education here, but our founder, Georges Doriot, who at the time was professor at Harvard Business School, wanted to create a business school in Europe that will promote peace and prosperity. He thought that instead of fighting with each other, the Brits, the Germans, the French, can actually get together and build businesses together. Today, we take prosperity and peace in Europe for granted. But if you think about the 1950s and you look at the history, you'll realize that every 20, 30 years, there were wars in Europe with nations fighting with each other. So the goal, the ideal of INSEAD is a very noble one. It's not just management education, but it is also promoting peace and prosperity. Today, we uphold the vision of our founders, and if you look at INSEAD today, we have more than 80 nationalities on campus, trying to promote, with our environment, with our classroom, peace and prosperity around the world. I know this because I have seen this many times, how people come into INSEAD from nations that are at war with each other. Deliberately, INSEAD staff puts them in groups together so that actually there is a lot of tension in the groups. And the class of 61 told me that INSEAD was doing the same thing in 1961, so it's not new. And initially, students complained, why do you ask me to do something in 8 hours that I can do by myself in 1 hour? Speaking about their colleagues. But by the end, by this day, everybody understands how important this teamwork is. I think that the unique thing about INSEAD is not only that we have more than 80 nationalities on campus, but it is that there is no dominant culture. at INSEAD. Well, some people say that party culture is dominant, but I ignore that part. There is no dominant culture in terms of having more than 10% of any nationality. Everybody is a minority at INSEAD. Everybody can speak up and should not feel that they can be intimidated by a silent or large majority. The world is flat here. It is a school, INSEAD is a school that dared to create a two-campus structure, now with a third campus in Abu Dhabi. It is a school that over the years, with pride, with honesty, and with entrepreneurial spirit, built something that no one else has managed to achieve. From graduating only dozens of people in the 1960s, today we have become #1 business school in the world. Its success, its entrepreneurial spirit is unparalleled. Thank you, the graduating class of 2016J, for your contribution to this success. It will be impossible to be where we are without you. Today, also I want to talk about something else, and that is the alumni network. We celebrate your achievements. I know, at least from my past few years, I know it's a very emotional day for many of you. Some people are frightened that this cozy world of friends, friendships being built, and a lot of excitement, learning, is gone or will be gone. But actually, it's not the end. It is the beginning. It is not only the beginning of your post-INSEAD career, but it's also the beginning of your link to the alumni network. And it is an amazing network. We have more than 50,000 alumni spread in 174 countries. It is a community which is very strong and very committed to the school and to you. In the past 3 years, I have traveled literally around the world, from Sydney, Jakarta, Hong Kong, Toronto, New York, all over Europe. And the thing that really surprised me was the strength of the alumni network. Sometimes it was a positive surprise, and sometimes when I say this, the alumni say, yeah, you're saying this to us because we're alumni and you want something from us, so you're trying to please us. But you have to understand also our perspectives. Our perspective as professors at INSEAD, I used to go in the classroom, teach my macroeconomics class. The students were 29-year-old, and then the next year they were again 29-year-old, and every year they're 29-year-old. It's actually very frustrating. We had no idea, as professors, what happens to our students and where they go and what they do. So realizing the achievements of our alumni network was very, very big surprise, positive surprise for me. I think that when you look at our community outside, it is really very powerful. It's spread throughout the world, but we still have a lot of work to do in order to connect with each other. In my second week as Dean of INSEAD in October 2013, one of our alums in Canada asked me, how would you know that your deanship was successful? You know, I was petrified by this question because all of a sudden I'm thinking about, the next budget and things like this. 5 years or whatever, down the road, it's very difficult to answer a question like this. Of course, my immediate answer was, I want to make sure that the school is not going bankrupt. It's important. But when I think what really we want to achieve is, I would say that my deanship has been successful if we can build a global learning community of alumni, students, faculty, staff, friends of INSEAD that are connected with each other. If we build this, the school will be invincible. And I'm very optimistic. I think that this is happening, and we're moving in the right direction. Our alumni are very committed to the school. They commit time interviewing applicants. They commit time as mentors. They commit financial resources to the school. Already, Urs mentioned your first 100 days. People cheered because they liked the course. But this course has been made possible only because one of our alums, Rudolf Mack from the class of 1973, created the Center for Entrepreneurship, who could build a simulation, which could actually build this course. So our alumni want to make this program better and stronger. Now, I think that financial contributions are amazing, but the commitment to the school is really even more inspiring. Every meeting with alumnus, I hear, or alumna, I hear the same thing. INSEAD is part of our lives. INSEAD is for life. INSEAD changed my life. The first time I heard it was the class of 1963 reunion. One of the participants said this, and since then every single class has been saying this. As Dean of INSEAD, I'm committed to work with you to build a school so that one day you look back and you say, I'm very proud that I did my INSEAD and my MBA at INSEAD. I want to finish with something else. I want to talk a little bit about why we are here. Why does INSEAD exist? The immediate answer is obviously to provide education to people who want to learn about management. But I think that our mission has to be bigger than this. I strongly believe that our mission has to be based on the statement that business has to be a force for good. Business as a force for good means many different things to many different people. First and foremost, however, it means that if you want to improve the state of the world, business creation is the only way. If you look at China in 1980, there were 840 million people who lived below the extreme poverty line of $1.25 a day. 85% of the Chinese population in extreme poverty. Today, there are less than 150 million people. This miracle, and it is a miracle, it has never happened in the history of the world before, happened not because of foreign developmental aid, not because of government aid, not because of philanthropic giving, but because of one thing, and that is economic growth. And the only engine of economic growth in the long run is business creation and business innovation. Our mission as a business school for the world is to develop people like you, the future leaders, the future entrepreneurs, the future managers, who with their knowledge, skills, and expertise will change the world for the better. And will do it with integrity, honesty, and pride. During INSEAD, to assure the parents, our visitors here, during INSEAD we do build competencies, whether in finance, accounting, economics, strategy, and so on, but we also focus on building character, a character that will make you proud of your achievements one day. Now, I think that the way to summarize this is that business as a force for good, it must ensure that the value creation that you'll be doing as leaders and managers, everything that you do for your business has to be aligned with the goals of the society and not to go against the society. Today, I know that amongst yourselves here, there are also people who, instead of asking the question, how do I make sure that my business is consistent with the goals of the society, ask the question, what are the biggest issues in the society, and how can I build a business, a profitable business that can address these issues? I'm very proud of our alumni like this. Going forward, I would say let us continue to champion diversity, because I do believe that diversity is the key to strengthening individuals, institutions, and society. Let us promote peace and prosperity for every individual, every community, every country in the world. We are proud that you chose INSEAD for your MBA. You are now the ambassadors of INSEAD. You are INSEAD. You will define what it means to say business is a force for good. I know you'll do it in a way that will be very proud of you. We are proud of our alumni. I have no doubt that the class of 16J will change the world for the better and will contribute much to the prominence of our alumni and our school, a school that from now on you can call it your own school. Congratulations, thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Ilian. Our next speaker is Claude Janssen. Claude is the honorary chairman of INSEAD and one of the founders of INSEAD. Claude has an MBA from Harvard, where he was taught by Georges Doriot and got hooked on the idea of building an international business school in Europe. It is a great honor. Please welcome Claude Janssen.
I was thinking, looking at you, that you are lucky really today because you are in the shade. Because up here, I can tell you, it's not cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and dear MBA graduates, on behalf of our chairman, André Jacobs, and our entire board, I would like to congratulate you warmly for having obtained this diploma today, as well as to thank our distinguished guest speaker, who will address you in a minute. Beyond his very successful business career, he has written books on optimism and happiness, which I think is really a program. As the founder and chairman of Children for a Better World, he fits exactly what INSEAD wants to become under the leadership of our dean, Eliane Mihoff, Business School as a force for good, which means Business School for a Better World. So he fits exactly. I'm very pleased that we are in the castle, because at the beginning of our history, diplomas were delivered in the castle, but we've stopped that when the promotion grew. It is the first time since the early days that they are delivered again in the Château, and I'm very pleased. The Château has played a big part in our history. When INSEAD was completely unknown, i.e. in 1959 or 60, the fact that it was located in the Château gave it instant nobility. Thanks to Jean-François Hébert, we are very pleased to be here today, and thank you again. You already applauded Olivier Giscard d'Estaing, who very courageously accepted to take the responsibility during the first 7 years of INSEAD existence. You applaud him, but I'd like to stress again that his contribution is invaluable for the creation and early development of INSEAD. And I think we should applaud him again. As one of the founders of INSEAD, I feel very proud that our MBA has been ranked this year #1 in the world. This is something that we had always hoped for. It took us nearly 60 years, but I'm very happy, as my wife says, that it happened during my lifetime, and grateful to all those deans, faculty, and staff who have achieved such a wonderful result. And you are particularly lucky and fortunate to be the first promotion to graduate after your MBA has been ranked #1. I'm sure you feel very happy and proud to be one of this year's program. You're close to 500 in this class, coming from 72 countries. As it was said, most of you have spent time in Fontainebleau and Singapore, and some in Abu Dhabi, and I know that it will have been an extraordinary experience. By being one of the largest business schools in the world, by far the most international, with its 3 campuses in Fontainebleau, Singapore, and Abu Dhabi, executive MBA program, its PhD, being one of the largest providers of executive education. It is a long way from the opening of 59, which Olivier and myself remember very well. But the principles on which we set up before the creation of the school have always been maintained. We wanted the school to be international. We are by far the most international of all business schools in the world. We wanted to be independent, which allowed us to move fast. And in spite of the time of difficulties, we've always stayed independent. And it's important, for instance, when we decided to move to Singapore, where the dean had to convince the faculty, and I was chairman at the time, had to convince the board, and it was not that difficult. But when that was done, we just went ahead. We didn't have to ask permission from anybody else. We had decided to stay private and to accept no subsidy from governments. That meant that we needed to balance accounts and be careful in our management. And also it means that fundraising and alumni support are very indispensable. Finally, we wanted it to be entrepreneurial. And if INSEAD is what it is today, is that many people in the faculty and around the school have made these creations by engaging themselves, like it was done in Asia and in other places, the faculty really built the school. You now belong to the family of alumni, about 50,000, half of you with an MBA, working in 175 countries. I think we are the only school with that spread of countries. And I want to say a word about the alumni, because as I said, we are private and independent, but that gives a special responsibility to the alumni. In INSEAD, there's only two constituencies: the faculty, without the faculty there'd be no school, and the alumni. And without the alumni, there'd be no future. Alumni play a growing role, I've been playing over the years. My three successors as chairman, Kees van Lede, Frans Hoemer, Andreas Jacobs, are all alumni. Majority of board members, the presidents of the advisory council, of all board committees, of our foundations, the majority of the members of 25 national councils, and a great part of the financial support has been provided by alumni or initiated by alumni. So the alumni play an important role. But I think and hope that they should do that in the future even more than now. The future, in my mind, is largely in the hands of alumni. If alumni don't show interest to their school, the school will not survive. So you have a very strong responsibility. We have no university, no government, no official institution behind us, but we have the alumni. And I trust that many of you will engage in the support of the school, not only financially, which is what you always think of, but by engaging yourselves like some of the people that I mentioned. And you could start by being active in some of the INSEAD's institutions, in particular in one of 45 alumni associations. So I trust that you will do that, because I repeat, if you don't, and if the other classes don't do it either, INSEAD will not survive. I'd like to quote our founder, George Dorio, who initiated the idea initially. He always was saying a story about three men breaking stones. And they're being asked, what are you doing? One answers, I break stones. Second one says, I earn my living. The third one says, I help build cathedrals. Let's build cathedrals together. Again, all my congratulations, best wishes for a very successful career and happiness to all of you, as well as to your families. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claude. And back to the warm seat. I now have the pleasure to introduce our graduation speaker, Dr. Florian Langenscheidt, MBA 85J. Florian is a writer, publisher, entrepreneur, angel investor, board member, and philanthrope, all at the same time. Florian is a supervisory board member of the Langenscheidt Publishing Group, a privately held German publishing company founded in 1856. It is considered the inventor of distance learning, then through books about how to learn French. Nowadays, more online. Florian has been in executive and supervisory board roles, but he has also written several books and has been admitted to the German Speakers Hall of Fame in 2008. Since 1997, Florian has been an angel investor supporting new businesses. In addition, Florian is speaker of the Board of Trustees of the Deutscher Gründerpreis, something about startups, that means. Himself, he has founded and is head of the executive board of the global organization Children for a Better World, as Claude has mentioned. He's a member of many other charitable trusts and policy committees. Please help me welcome Florian Langenscheidt.
Dear INSEAD family, what a magical moment. What a magnificent building. What great men and women. how strong emotions of pride, gratitude, hope, probably a little bit of insecurity as well, love, friendship, always these moments when everything changes and you have to say goodbye, that has become very important for you. It is a great honor to contribute a little bit to this graduation ceremony, and I couldn't even possibly turn it down because I owe INSEAD so much. When I came here, I thought about it again. If I had to summarize it, these are 4 pillars of my life, and additionally the only racing record that I've ever achieved. The 4 pillars of my life are my first wife, whom I met the first day, getting up the staircase, thinking that everybody would speak French here, so I spoke with her French for about 20 minutes until we noticed that we both of us are German, and subsequently 2 wonderful sons, a toolbox for, I would say, most of the challenges in our complex life. I at least know whom to ask if I don't know how to handle it myself. Learning teamwork in heterogeneous groups. The dean just mentioned that when I came here, I thought I would always be more efficient and faster doing stuff myself. But from the first moment here, I knew that I could not possibly handle it, and I would be better if I worked in groups. And number 4, several lifelong friendships. And I think no period in life has given me so wonderful friendships. The racing record, by the way, is something I'm not that proud of. At that time, I was the fastest to go from INSEAD to the then best club in Paris. That was the Annabelle. It took 32 minutes in Alfa Romeo, and nobody was able to. No, not that's the wrong applause. Proud MBAs. Should I tell you a secret? I would actually rather learn from you than giving you any advice today. Because having been a very active business angel for such a long time, I met great entrepreneurs from all over the world, all of them more or less 30 years old, and I've learned so much from them. I think all innovation basically comes from ambitious and creative young people worldwide like you and in this age. I think when we are 50 or 60 or 70 years old, we have other qualities, we might have other strengths. But innovation, creativity, changing paradigms, rule-breaking, all that, that's a privilege of you, and please do it courageously, and thus I would love to learn from you. In such a setting, it's a little difficult to learn in that direction, so I want to give you some learnings that might be relevant for you, and it will be about happiness. This might be a subject that might be surprising for you on such a day, but apart from all the other things that have been mentioned, I have been doing research and teaching and writing and thinking about happiness for more than 30 years now. And some of the books that I wrote really have become very influential, and I got back 10,000 of mails. And so I think that I might give you some interesting thoughts on that. But I need a glass of water for a second. This is to you. Congratulations again. Happiness. Happiness has as many facets as your laughter, your thoughts, your dreams. What makes one person happy is boring for the other. One person will be carried away by nature, the next one by art. One person enjoys always having people around, whilst the other one loves being alone. One individual finds delight in doing sports, whereas his or her partner is longing for a wing chair. Whoever may think that happiness follows instructions is ignorant of the humans. Guidebooks, I've never been writing guidebooks on that subject, but rather dictionaries of optimism or just thought-provoking books. Guidebooks may be well-intentioned, but they are not really helpful. All of us have to find their own way to happiness and back to themselves. What do people on the verge of death say when they are asked what they would have done differently, if they still could? That they would have liked to live a life which had been theirs, instead of living in accordance with the well-meaning advice of others or according to social conventions and scales of value. Every life, today we are thinking about success only, but every life is full of cliffs, drawbacks, and disappointments. And happiness only never works. We don't even want this. It lives from being unhappy. It lives from disappointments, and then you can enjoy the great moments only. Only happiness would be like kissing in the sunset forever or eating chocolate all the time. That doesn't work, and we want it. Every life is full of cliffs, drawbacks, and disappointments. But in fact, it is so much easier to cope with them when it is your own life, when we have attempted to live the kind of life which we have designed ourselves. It is like carrying a flaring torch which shows us the way even when it's getting dark. This is the torch of freedom and self-determination. So let's embark on a trip into our own self and find out what really counts for us. Let's ask ourselves what we ultimately want to get in life, what we are talked into by others, and what is actually necessary. Often this is much less than we would believe. Less is often more happiness. And the little moments are frequently the big ones. The point is that we have to identify them and take the time to enjoy. Happiness is love for ourselves and for others, for what we do, for life. Gratitude instead of envy. We have so much of our own. We have received so many blessings from fate. Just the blessing to be able to study in the best business school of the world. We have so many blessings from fate. Let's be thankful for that instead of worrying about what else there could be. Some people, and I tell you many, I've received so many thousands of mails on that subject. Some people are missing their lives because they constantly rack their brain to find out what they are missing. Don't do that. Live your life, try to make it as good as possible, and don't even think about what anybody else is doing. It's different from what you perceive anyway, and you can't change yourself. We tend to put the blame for our happiness or misfortune on other people, on other causes, on missing money, on too much money, the dreadful boss, the bad employees, the malevolent colleagues, the unloving partner, lack of time, the weather, whatever. Always externalize it from yourself. But I tell you, happiness is our own business. We are responsible for it. Happiness is a decision. It does not fall straight down on us. It is in us, around us. We only have to see it through the thicket of actual or supposed demands and all our everyday stress. And manage our expectations well. There has been a lot of research on that. I can't go into that. But smart management of expectations is extremely important as well, apart from the fact to find it in yourself. And we are in charge. In any situation, you can sit here and see that situation as something bothering, boring, always the same, whatever, and you can change the perspective, see the same situation, and suddenly see that you can contribute something, that you can change that you might learn from something there. It's up to us in 98% of all situations we get in. What really makes us happy will change with the phases of life. Every stage of life, if you are 29 or 49 or 69, offers specific happiness and unhappiness. There's not one period in life that you could say this is the happy times and the other times are the difficult ones. Each of them has these specific aspects, and let's enjoy the journey through life. Those who are still able to be amazed need not fear old age. And I tell you, when I had these reunions 20 years, 30 years after having done the MBA here at INSEAD, The subject areas we were discussing, we even did some research on that, changed substantially. When we were 29, we were discussing about money and cars and power and great career prospectus and all that, which is great. I would do that again when I'm 30. But now we're discussing responsibility, values, families, friendships, taking care of our old parents, all sorts of things. Things have changed constantly, and that's the point that I want to make. Each period of life has these specific wonderful moments and the specific fears, and it's important to get all the energy you need to face the fears from all the wonderful moments you can enjoy. Happiness involves many questions. The answers are in us. We only have to find them. That takes time and may sometimes be difficult, but it's worth it because we build a life which is ours, in which we can accommodate ourselves. Questions smell of childhood, lessons smell of school. The method of finding to ourselves through questions may actually be owed to Socrates. He abstained from lecturing like a teacher and was convinced that perception must come from inside. Hence, listen into yourself. You will find exciting answers. Ask yourself what is actually good for you and indulge yourself in it. Juggle with your expectations, dance with fate. Have the courage to grasp your happiness. You have a right to it. Love something, change it so that you can love it, or throw it out of your life. And ask yourself with utter consistency, what do I want? What are my capabilities? What do I need? Everybody has only one life. Live it as you like, in the way which makes sense to you. This is not egoistic, because anyway, we do most for our happiness when we care about other people's happiness in the first place. This is a great paradoxon about happiness, that when people think about their own forthcoming, their own happiness, their own advantage only, they are less happy than people who are thinking about their sick parents, about kids, about helping, being philanthropes or whatever. So it's not egoistic about thinking about your happiness, because they will always include others. It doesn't work in another way. And it's more satisfactory to be together with people who know what they want and share their path with others in all humbleness and with determination. Please live your uniqueness, and nobody can overtake you. Be honest to yourself. Life is full of lies, but it's too short for such escape. Do you remember the treasure hunting games of your childhood? When they were well conceived, I'm a master of creating treasure hunts for my daughters. When they were well conceived, it was not easy to find the treasure, but just in those cases, it was particularly worth it. What is expecting you? An inner light, despite all problems and disappointments which accompany your life. A feeling of being, and that's how I would define happiness in a way after having thought about that for such a long time. A feeling of being one with yourself, with the people around you, with your wishes and with your activities. Inner peace amidst the chaos. This could be worth the effort, don't you think? With all this in mind, I wish you happiness in all aspects of life. Work, love, parenthood, caring for others, health, family, friendship, sports, whatever you wanted. You deserve it more than anybody else. I wish you just the best for your life. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Florian, for sharing the happiness with us. Now, families, friends, guests, did I mention that INSEAD's MBA is really intense and diverse? Sorry. Now, all that intensity and diversity is great, but it makes INSEAD probably the hardest business school to teach at in the world. We breed some of the best teachers, and it is thus a huge honor to be nominated for a teaching prize. Can I please ask the academic reps to come forward to announce the 16J nominations and winners of the Best Teacher Awards?
Dear classmates and guests, INSEAD has been a great experience, but it would have been nothing without our professors and the learning we got in the classroom. It might not seem so now, but it will definitely appreciate it when we face our clients and our PowerPoints in a few months.
The 16J class voted for their favorite courses a few weeks ago. I will now take the moment to announce the winners and show them how much we enjoy their classes. We have 4 categories of our favorites: for core courses and for elective courses, and for Fontainebleau and Singapore.
Okay. So we start with the best core professor in Fonty. We have 3 nominees. The first nominee is Professor Adrian Buss. Professor, we came in financially illiterate, but you managed to make even the lawyers among us able to do a DCF valuation. You were always dedicated and you showed a lot of positive attitude, and that's why you earned the love of the entire Fonty class. And Professor, if you ask me, did I win the award? My answer to you, we get there.
Professor Andre Calmon, you may think that we only will remember from you that the variability is evil. However, we will never forget your word of the day in the final session: be brave. We promise you to follow our passions. You gave us the tools and the inspiration to pursue our dreams. Thank you.
The third nominee, the boss, aka Nikos Vetas. Who else would dump his girlfriend by sending her a text message saying, "Baby, you're a sunk cost"? And who else, when asked a stupid question by a student in class, would answer, admissions mistake? A truly brilliant man who brought economic theory into life, and we thank you for that, Professor.
And to announce the winner, we ask our very own Bihar Parik to the stage.
Thank you, Rodrigo. So, without further ado, the winner for the Best Fonty Core Professor, drum roll, Professor Adrian Buss.
Okay, first of all, thanks a lot. It's a great surprise. And specifically so, as I'm pretty sure I caused several of you some sleepless nights with FMV cases, FMV videos, or the online tutorial that had the nice deadline, 8 a.m. Saturday or Sunday morning. From my side, it was a very pleasant teaching with the cohort. It was interesting. It was challenging, but it's okay. And I will never forget teaching all 4 sections on Dash Day with which means everyone is in his national costume. Plus, I think some had some water or coffee on the way from the Chateau to INSEAD. Finally, I looked at the yearbook yesterday. I saw some of my pictures, and they were pretty going along with what you already said. We'll get there. We're just wait a second, I will cover this a bit later today. So today, I probably have the chance just to say, you got there, you got your diploma today. Congratulations from my side, all the best, and I hope you stay in touch. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
The second award will be for Best Elective Professor in Fontainebleau. The first nominee is Henning Piusenka. Henning's new business venture was one of the courses which definitely tested our patience. Entrepreneurial endeavors came with a lot of blood, but all supported by valuable life lessons and the infinite questions on how our lives will be judged.
Second nominee is Professor Pierre Chandon. Professor, after your course, whenever I see a TV ad, I always find the sexual symbol. And that's why you should be called the Freud of advertising. Who would imagine that a man who lives in the tiny village of Arbonne-la-Forêt would have such global expertise? You never truly understand branding unless you're taught by the great Pierre Chandon.
The third nominee is Michael Prahl. In Michael's course of LBO, we were told the very fundamental truth. Be clear with yourself. Can you make the difference between your own convictions and the realities of life? If you can't, then there's better a very good IRR to pay for the risk. We learn how to eat French yogurt, how to sell animal feed, and most of all, how to always question sellers' due diligence.
And to announce the winner, we would like to invite our own Michael Dirks.
Welcome to New Business Ventures. It is the year 2016, and we announce proudly that the winner is Piusenka Henning.
Welcome to New Business Ventures. Thank you. This means a lot. I teach a class in entrepreneurship, which is called New Business Ventures. And in this class, together, the students and I, we go on a journey where we discuss whaling in the 18th century to understand the business models which underlie new ventures. And we study the battle between David and Goliath to really understand how an underdog can actually win against an overdog. And we also discuss the story of Don Quixote to understand the challenges and the identity of an entrepreneur. And throughout this class and this journey the students and I have been together, I've been incredibly impressed by the intellectual curiosity of the students. Rather than asking for simple kind of recipes, the students always embrace complex challenges and actually put in the hard work that were needed to actually resolve it. I'm incredibly happy for this award. But I want to say that this award, in many ways, that the students voted for this class, says much more actually about the students who really kind of voted for a class that took so much effort and required such an amount of intellectual curiosity. I am very, very grateful, and my colleagues are, to have these kind of students every day. And what I do every day, figuratively, I can finally do here on stage, literally, with great respect. I lift my hat in front of you. Thank you so much.
And now we're moving to the Singi campus for our next award. And our first category is the Singi core courses. Our first nominee in that category is Professor Peter Joos for financial accounting.
Some of you may shudder at the mention of accounting, but Peter, who's not actually an accountant, turned the world upside down by color-coding assets and liabilities.
And shame on anyone who doesn't remember that dividends are not an expense.
And that EBITDA is stupid.
Our second nominee is Hayden Pound, and I'm sure he's watching the ceremony from Melbourne in his best tie and cufflinks. In Principles of Strategy Analysis, Hayden taught us not to generalize. The average person has one breast and one bollock.
You know what we're talking about. Don't be that guy. Hayden's heartfelt advice will be remembered by every singer starter. Focus on what's important. Be decent, be a builder. Create value, don't be selfish, and be worthy of your blessings.
Our third nominee for Best Singing Professor is, pardon, I don't seem to have it here.
Shame on you, Antonia. You screwed up. That's right, it's Pierre Lyon. In FMV, or as it's fondly known as Fuck Ma Vie, we learned the basics of valuation, and later on in ACF we discovered this was code for bullshit evaluation.
And who wanted to return from Bali to hear about the WAC and the FCFs and the DCFs and the KPM?
But in our first class we were told that those with a finance background would find it tough, and les poètes, well, good luck.
And to announce our winner, we wanted to invite Jerome.
Without further ado, the winner of the best core professor in Singapore is Peter Juice. Unfortunately, Peter is not here today, but I am tall and bald, so I'll read a little message from him. Dear 16Js, this is amazing. Many, many thanks. This means an awful lot to me. I know the occasion calls for a few words, and while I'm not too good at this, there are a few things I wanted to say. First, it is nice to see that on occasions, Belgium can win. That is comforting. More seriously, when I was offered the opportunity to come back to INSEAD about 2 years ago, I had to make a big decision. A decision that meant a career switch again and a move with my family halfway around the world. But I seized the opportunity because, after all, this is INSEAD, and INSEAD is special. It's quirky, brilliant, whatever word you want to use. And while there are a few reasons why that is the case, the main reason is you, the students. Now, perhaps you expect me to say this on a day like today, but I believe it to be true. You come here from different walks of life, from all corners of the world, with a variety of backgrounds, experiences, viewpoints, too diverse to describe. You walk into the classroom to make up this formidable melting pot, unique in the world, and this melting pot, on top of everything, is also extremely demanding, as it should be. That is the setup for this special INSEAD experience, an experience that stands for engaging and smart class discussions that never follow a formula, with people not taking anything on face value, often coming at the issues from beyond left field, and having no qualms about voicing opposing views. In the end, that is the vibe that creates the insights and the learning experience, even during courses on financial accounting. I think back on the courses and I remember us having good fun, although you may disagree with me on the final exam. But beyond the fun, we covered a lot of ground. We talked about many aspects of capital markets and business, and I feel privileged that during our exchanges, I had the opportunity to share my thoughts with you. It is my hope that those discussions have prepared you to deal with some of the future challenges that you will face as you navigate your professional life. Thank you.
Now at INSEAD we are taught to share, so our singing electives are actually shared with the electives in Abu Dhabi, or although they weren't really electives. So we're going to start by announcing the nominees for the Best Singi Abu Dhabi elective. And our first nomination is Horacio Falcao for negotiations. The students came into Horacio's course with unhumanly high expectations, and he flew past those expectations in the first 30 minutes. You know you're taught by a negotiation master when he says that he found divorce settlements to be harder to resolve than the Peru-Ecuador century-long conflict. Our second nomination is Phil Parker, and Phil taught us a class called Strategies for the Bottom of the Pyramid. We thought this class was about discovering ways to help the poor, learning about social impact, and providing basic services to migrants.
But in Phil's own words, bad news, guys, because I'm here to teach you how to hose them. I immediately recognized Phil as a guru when he told us that business is not about maximizing shareholder value, but about extracting as much money as you can from your customers as possible before they complain.
And James, can I announce the final nominee?
Sure. As I was once told by Pierre, ce que la femme veut, Dieu veut. Whatever a woman wants, God wants too.
Well, Pierre is our final nominee.
And Pierre is a man I would personally like to thank for my daily wake-up calls at 3:15 in the afternoon.
Pierre taught us an armory of finance courses in P3, P4, and P5, including, for the very first time in 3 years, the course on fixed income. Our very own James here led the campaign to keep fixed income on the schedule, and that was a campaign only he could get excited about.
In applied corporate finance, for which Pierre is nominated, we learned first and foremost to never trust a banker telling you you could reduce your cost of funding, or to never trust a banker, full stop. And to announce the winner, we would like to invite Lars Grunfeld.
Thank you. And the winner of the best elective in Singapore, my goodness, it's Pierre Hillion for Advanced Corporate Finance. Unfortunately, Pierre could not make it today, and we have no idea where he is. In the upstate, he is on a yacht in the south of France. In the downstate, he is teaching advanced applied corporate finance to a bank in Rome currently. So Pierre, wherever you are, we've learned a tremendous amount of you, and we hope for all future generations that you will be here for a very long time to teach all of us at INSEAD. Thank you.
Before we leave, I'd just like to pass on a few words that I respectfully borrow from Henning Piazanka, who asked, by what metric will your life be judged? Every INSEADer came to Fontainebleau or Singapore with their own remarkable and unique story. And these stories are only going to become even more remarkable. We will be met with success, we will be met with challenges and failure. At every step, I humbly ask you to consider the significant impact you will have on those and the world around you, and to question, by what metric will your life be judged?
And as we step out of the chateau, out of the campus, and out of INSEAD today, we ask you to not only remember the great skills in modeling, strategizing, and structuring, we also ask you to remember the exciting, sometimes conflicting discussions in the amphi. Remember the fights and celebrations with your study groups, and remember the incredible support of your classmates in figuring out that last CFP assignment on share buybacks. Today, we become alumni, and that makes us no less friends and no less classmates. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all the student academic reps. And we really appreciate it as faculty to hear from you and to get your nominations and awards. Now, a very important element of the INSEAD experience is obviously created by you as students yourself. And on behalf of the MIHOF, myself, and the entire MBA program management team, I would like to thank the members of the Student Council for your service for the MBA class of July 2016. Your willingness to go above and beyond has proven to be a great example of leadership, and your classmates will not soon forget. So thank you very much for that. And you have, as student council, selected Aaron Feingold to come and speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Urs. To start, I want to say thank you to all the people who made it possible for us to be here today. On one hand, institutional supporters. The MBA office, including our own class officers, Jessica Veran and Cindy Tan, the faculty, Career Development Center, the admissions committee, they've all played an instrumental role in crafting the unique MBA that we've all just been fortunate enough to experience. Meanwhile, our individual supporters, our mentors, teachers, coaches, and families have allowed and pushed us to meet all the goals that we've achieved today and all the aspirations that we're striving to reach in the future. Personally, I'd like to thank my parents who are here today with me and who have always been a source of love, encouragement, and compassion. Although I think they are pretty convinced, and not wrongly so, that the INSEAD lifestyle is pretty unhealthy. Nonetheless, I think I speak collectively in expressing our gratitude for all those individuals who've shaped our education, our careers, and our lives. When thinking about what I wanted to cover in my speech, I thought I wanted to somehow address the content, milestones, and characters of this past year. And then I realized, in order to go into the past and pay tribute, we had to go way into the future. What, I began pondering to myself, would anthropologists and historians 1,000 years in the future conclude about our school and our promotion when looking at the artifacts we leave behind? Would these conclusions be accurate? Would they be compelling? Would these future assertions be the kinds of things that would make us proud? They might look at what survives of our digital communications and conclude their daily lives, religious existence, and social hierarchy centered around one thing: cab rides to and from the airport. And there was a deity named Johannes who was the provider. They could find the trash left in our apartments and say, unlike other communities that survived on domesticated crops like wheat, rice, or barley, this society's staple was fermented. And parents, don't let your kids tell you that it was kimchi. They could come across the emails on Andy Fitzgerald's hard drive, and they could think, the hot, deadly Australian outback is no match for the hostility of the Heritage View apartments. In Australia, they say, every snake, spider, and jellyfish is trying to kill you. In Singapore, every member of the Residents Association is trying to make you behave. And maybe, just maybe, they would unearth some evidence that some of the members of our tribe were particularly innovative in how they define monogamy. Alongside all these relics and the minutiae of our daily lives, they would also find remarkable things. Things that would make me and anyone else proud to stand up and identify as part of this community. They would dust off our CV book, and they would be thoroughly impressed. Not just at the stunning professional accomplishments, any business school has that, and not just at the global reach we've achieved, but also at the diverse range of interests, some professional, some personal, and some bridging both categories, that make each of our CVs shine. Did you know, for example, that our classmate Ivan Wong was a professional 400-meter hurdler? Did you know that our classmate Alessandro Giulbecco founded a theater company and served as its stage director for 7 years, all while simultaneously pursuing his illustrious private sector career at Ederson Energia? Did you know that your classmate Connor Roche has published articles on direct chain and functionalization of living polyisobutylene and synthesis of oil core polymer shell particles via mini emulsion templating? Having the opportunity to get to know such interesting and well-rounded people, and getting to know about at least some of their varied interests and accomplishments is one of the greatest pleasures of being an MBA student here at INSEAD. These social scientists would also find our name cards and remark that this was a society ahead of its time. While many institutions bring together people of different nationalities, and INSEAD is not really unique in this way, very few offer, as Dean Mihov said, the chance to work, learn, and be social in an environment with no dominant national culture. Think about that for a moment. Our P1, P2 study groups had to decide for themselves how they wanted to work, which norms of punctuality, feedback delivery, and comfort with dissent to uphold. The beauty of INSEAD is that each of us is a foreigner, misbehaving or otherwise. And by definition, being a foreigner at INSEAD inherently means we belong. Someone who truly belonged to our community, although she departed from it all too soon, was our friend and classmate, Carolyn Durr. It would be impossible for the hypothetical archaeologists of the future digging through our things to not find her presence amidst the various notes, messages, and photos we leave behind, since she was a vibrant, influential, and much-loved member of our community. A high-energy, high-performing global citizen with a true passion for living, she found herself comfortably at home here at the #1 business school in the world. What better way is there for us, then, to honor her memory than to live out our lives in accordance with the values that she embraced, that INSEAD espouses, and that we all share? Our future has the potential to be filled with ceaseless learning, unprecedented exploration, intense openness, and a list of achievements we can't even imagine in the current moment. We will come back here to INSEAD for our first reunion in the summer of 2021, having made personal and professional decisions that will surprise and delight our classmates. Now, whom those personal decisions will delight is a separate issue altogether. We, the 8 students whom you elected at the end of P2 to represent you as the 16J Student Council, and all those of you who have collaborated with us along the way, are honored, humbled, and happy to have served you this year. Directing cabaret, publishing the yearbook, planning the grad trip, and throwing for you what is absolutely going to be a kick-ass grad party tonight. We hope that we have enabled you to create experiences, make memories, and leave behind your own artifacts which are lasting, meaningful, and authentic. In that spirit, I know that once we leave here, the memories, the artifacts, the partying, and the travel will not stop. So let's go out there, 16J, and take the world on. If we do so in true INSEAD fashion, those who are affected by our impact won't know what hit them. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Aaron, very much. My wife is a paleontologist, so I can relate to that. Now, you as a class have elected your valedictorian speaker, and it's a great pleasure to now invite Kemi Onabonjo to the stage, please.
Thank you, Urs. Good afternoon, distinguished guests. Good afternoon, family members and loved ones. Good afternoon, esteemed faculty and school administrators. And hello to my beloved class of July 2016, who have entrusted me with the huge honor of representing them here today. My name is Oluwakemi Onabanjo. I was born in Nigeria. I was educated in Nigeria, and I spent most of my working years in Nigeria. And from the age of 15, I wanted to leave Nigeria. I wanted access to better doctors who would have been able to treat my asthma properly. I wanted to attend university and not worry about spending extra years in school due to faculty strikes. I wanted to be able to drive my car safely on the roads without the fear of potholes deep enough to throw my car off. I wanted to live without the fear of contracting malaria after every mosquito bite, and we have lots of mosquitoes in Nigeria. I wanted to leave, and I had a plan. I was going to be a doctor, the first doctor in my family. I had secured admission in a number of universities in the US to start my pre-med studies, with the hope of returning to Nigeria only as a tourist. I had it all planned out. I was going to be a good doctor, a kind doctor, a doctor with legible handwriting. I was going to have a nice little house, complete with a well-groomed lawn, a fuel-efficient hybrid 4x4 pickup, and super-sized Big Macs to my heart's desires. But fate wanted otherwise. My visa application was rejected, and my grand escape plan was foiled. Fast forward 10 years to 2012. No white coats, no scrubs, no stethoscope. My dream of becoming a doctor was now a distant memory. I became a management consultant in Lagos, southwest Nigeria. And my second assignment was a project aimed at supplying medical kits to clinics across the country. For 2 months, my life was overtaken by medical kits. I was pushing medical kit statistics into Excel and showing medical kit graphs in every PowerPoint presentation. I even started seeing medical kits in my dreams. My job took me across the country, and 1 year later, I found myself working on yet another project with a community hospital in northern Nigeria. Still not a doctor, but close enough. The local administrators were telling me how they had been able to attend to more pregnant women over the preceding months because the midwives had started using medical kits. The same medical kits from the project I worked on the year before. And that's when it all made sense. You see, these kits were the catalyst behind a significant reduction in the number of unsupervised childbirths, which averted a lot of family tragedies and saved the lives of numerous babies and mothers. I wasn't a doctor saving lives, yet I was unwittingly changing the course of people's lives positively. It was then I regained my hopes. I no longer wanted to escape Nigeria. I felt empowered again. I, too, could make a change. Today, we stand together as far away from any village we have come from, in this chateau where a dream was born some 60 years ago. George Doriot, the founder of INSEAD, dreamt of making a change and building a Europe no longer torn apart by war, but united in trade and collaboration. And gladly, that dream has grown beyond Europe and now includes the entire world. Within INSEAD, we have no borders. Here, we respect and celebrate cultures. Pakistanis and Indians work together to organize a shared national week. Syrians and Israelis work together on financial models. And the entire community stands together against the extreme acts of terrorism we've seen in, sadly, a long list of countries in recent times. In the course of this year, we have discovered that our similarities greatly outweigh our differences. We're all driven by a deep desire to learn, a huge quest for adventure, and a passion to make a change in our lives and communities. Although we may have been on different campuses and had different experiences, there is only one INSEAD spirit. Whether it was Welcome Week in Amphi A or Amphi Merck, or sleepless nights studying for corporate finance, or prepping for interviews, whether it was in the house dinners or the poolside brunches, whether it was at Château Towers or at One Altitude, we always felt that special, intense INSEAD spirit. As if the program wasn't intense enough, some of us decided to raise the bar and start families this year. A special shout out to Daisy, Shino, and Stephanie, who not only specialize in marketing and strategy, but also in diaper changing and late night burping sessions. And of course, the MBA dads, as associate producers, deserve a shout out too. And in the spirit of diversity and unity, we have managed to convince Cupid to shoot arrows at least 40 unsuspecting INSEAD boys and girls, with some interesting passport combinations as a result. We all will be waiting patiently for the wedding invitations. Hashtag no pressure. As a class, we have bonded through great times and tough times. Most importantly, we have formed deep bonds of lifelong friendships, and now we all have second homes around the world, or at least a couch to crash on. But before we start getting excited about our second homes, let's take a moment to think back to our first homes. In Africa, we say it takes a village to raise a child. So, I would like to use this opportunity to thank our respective villages, our families, loved ones, and mentors who have supported us on our journeys thus far. Please join me in giving them a big round of applause. Today serves as both an end and a beginning. With everything that has happened in the last 10 months, the scramble to secure new jobs, new homes, and new futures for ourselves, it is easy to lose sight of some important things. Within the next 10 years, many of us will be occupying positions of influence and power, making decisions that affect thousands or even millions of lives. Although it might not seem that way right now. And although the jobs we have secured already, or the ones we will secure in the next few months, might seem like just another step in the entrepreneurial or corporate ladder, we must remember that we are incredibly powerful, and the impact of our actions ripples out beyond us into our communities and the world at large. This is the realization I came to in that hospital in northern Nigeria, where I witnessed firsthand the impact of my work. And this is what we should constantly remind ourselves of, especially on the days we feel like ordinary paper pushers. We are extremely fortunate. And although we don't feel that way every day, we are very privileged. We have been the recipients of many gifts. An education that not only enlightens but empowers, the intelligence and resilience to achieve our wildest dreams, the resources to be able to seize the many opportunities that come our way, and the capacity to move beyond facts and spreadsheets to knowledge and understanding. We have not been given this gift to build isolated bubbles and golden cages of individual comfort. Each and every one of us here has a calling and a higher purpose. It is therefore our duty to use these gifts that we have so graciously been given to serve our families, our communities, and ultimately, humankind. It is also our duty to spread the INSEAD spirit of tolerance, empathy, and collaboration everywhere we go. It is in our service to others that we find true fulfillment and can chart our course to greatness. Last night, as I walked through campus, taking my last steps as a student, I came upon the words of Judge Dorio displayed in the Camembert Hall. He said, "Let us do more than our share for the generation coming after us." This was his charge to the school's inaugural class almost 60 years ago in this same location. And this is the charge to all of us here today as the INSEAD alumni we are about to become. INSEAD class of July 2016. Even as our time as MBA students has now come to an end, let us seize this new beginning, go forth, and do great things, because the world is waiting for us. Thank you.
We're slowly moving towards the sort of certificates, the diplomas. But before we go there, I have the great pleasure to honor one of you with the Henry Ford Prize. It's not a car. It's not a car, but it's here to recognize the students with the highest GPA. That is to shine among 500 students. This year's honor of the Ford Prize goes to Leonidas Kanelopoulos.
Just a few words, don't worry, I'll be done before the game tonight. I just want to say that there is no achievement at INSEAD that is an individual achievement, that is the achievement of one individual. So I really have to thank for this prize all of the people I worked with. I had the honor and privilege to work with some of the most exciting, the most intelligent, the most creative people I have ever met in my life. And this prize belongs to them as much as to me. I would also like to thank a few more people, our deans, our professors, everyone, the administrative staff, everyone who makes this program be what it is, the #1 MBA in the world, the only truly global MBA in the world. And I would also, of course, like to thank my parents, my family, and friends, specifically my roommates in Singapore, Daria and Mattia, for not dragging me to every single party so that I could have some time to study this year. As Adrian Buss said, we would get there eventually, and we did. This is just the beginning, it is not the end. Let's stand together, and that's the way to improve not only our lives, but as Kemi said, the lives of other people too. Thank you, congratulations, class of 2016.
All right, it's now time, please, Sven and the MBA team, to proceed with the awards of the INSEAD MBA diplomas. The diplomas are awarded in alphabetical order, and there are some 456 of them to hand out. Thus, it will take about an hour and a half, but it is important to recognize each and every one of you today for your graduation, for the parents, the friends and family to share that moment of accomplishment and pride. Each student has created a slide that we will show when they're on stage. So thank you. Looking forward to seeing you up here in a minute. Vlad, can you come over, please? He's here, okay.
Okay, now is the moment. Just a quick word for the 1 or 2 students actually who graduated from Singapore yesterday and took the night flight. Where are they? Just a message. We don't distribute 2 diplomas, right? Okay, so we exceptionally will start with a student who has to leave in the next 20 minutes. I'm sure you will understand. And it's my pleasure to call Vlad Isaac. So the process is you walk, handshake, picture, smile, and then you leave this way. We have 11 seconds per student. Zohair Amer. Alexander Abashev. Murad Abdullayev. Mohamed Adani. Timi Adelaja. Deji Adesina. Alison Ahon. Ryota Akatsuka. Edinam Akpakli. Elif Aksoy. Omar Al-Dimashki. With distinction, Adam Alagya. Michael Alexandratos. With distinction, Marco Allegretti. Carolina Almeida. Gabriel Alves. Miguel Alves. Sufrat Anand. Bin Anindita. With distinction, Marc Antonius. Jessica Felicia Anwar. With distinction, Rodrigo Aparicio. With distinction, Javier Arellano Galindez. Vaiba Farora. Aliasgar Abbas Arsibala. Marie-Renée Villageois. Manu Baglikaya. Loïc Bailly. Saila Balasubramanian. Tisha Balane. Stephen Bannister. With distinction, Anshul Bansal. Han Bao. Donna Barcelon. Daniel Barzilai. Merve Basche. Dilasha Basnet. Florian Bauer. Marco Beltrami. Auralia Benavides Castro. Maxime Bérard. Catherine Berger. Tom Bergstein. Angelo Bernoulli. Nitin Bharati. Pooja Bhaskar. Jatin Bhutani. With distinction, Eduardo Bicacro. Valeria Birao. Andrzej Bjekovic. Fabiana Blumalves. With distinction, Marc Blasquez Prunera. Lola Boatwright. Jeffrey Bond. Elisa Bravo Garcia. Shanna Brockman. Marcos Bruno. With distinction, Lucy Buchanan. Johannes Burkhardt. Rachel Clarice Adia Bush. Chloe Biruk. Mert Özde Chankaya. Larissa Cantagno. Zoe Cao. Pedro Carreira. Antonio Caro Sanz. With distinction, Miguel Castelbranco. With distinction, Pedro Castelbranco. With distinction, Ignacio Castilla Salas. Gabriel Lima Catalani. Arvind Chandrasekaran. Bo Chen. Tim Chen. Will Chenvu. Ria Chabra. Patrick Schlapowski. Danny Choi. Amélie Xuanyu Chuang. Carl Conradi. Bruno Costa. Victor Costa. Reza Tagipourkov. Benjamin Croc. Felipe Cunha. Emiliano D'Amato. Alexander Deguer. Sandrika Dattatri. Olivier Dao. Ana de Andrés. Kevin de Graaf. With distinction, Gonzague Delauneux. Victor de Prémoré-Ligon. Risa Desagoun. Julien De Segundo. Thomas Delay-Fortin. Emilio Della Bruna Jr. Shaivi Desai Chandavarkar. Vichy Davan. Marco Di Mare. Yain Deng. Michael Dirks. Maria Drossou. With distinction, Alessandro Dulbecco. Sergei Efimenko. Ilya Efremov. Sarena Ehrlich. Mark Eisinger. Jad El Sebali. With distinction, Ahmed El Sokbi. Maria Eliseu. Durhan Erturk. Federico Escaler. Jonathan Eschel. Al Ismail. Thierry Etevenin. Pierre Farougia. With distinction, Lila Fernandez. With distinction, Begonia Fernandez Larea. Guido Filippo. Aaron Feingold. Christian Fleming. David Forbes. Jacopo Forloni. Guillaume Fournier. Jérémy Franc de Ferrière. Constance Frérot. Keisuke Fujita. Ryo Fukuta. Devin Gangi. Yu Gao. With distinction, Ferran Garcia Godina. Cristina Garcia. Gabriel Guevara. Daniele Genovesi. With distinction, Maya Georgieva. Sebastião Geraldes Barba. Zied Guerin. Mihai Georges. Alex Gilles. Jan Gorgen. Winston Go. With distinction, Kostas Gunaras. Shino Grievel. With distinction, Lars Grönfeldt. Camilla Grou. Annette Gou. Annie Guan. Fabrizio Maria Guidi. Thomas Guillen. Varun Gupta. Marina Gurevich. With distinction, Pascal Hazen. Andrew Ham. Alvin Handu Chupo. Kim Vera Hartmann. With distinction, James Hay. Aldo Heberlein. Ashraf Heleka. Dominik Hemmig. Ananya Hemvijitraphan. Matt Herndorf. Maria José Higueras. Amin Husni. Michelle Hu. Christopher Hughes. Sarah Irvani. Amy Iwakami. Avantika Jain. Reza Nazim Jan. With distinction, Pedro Raque. Jonathan Jensen. Arif Jetta. Anna Jin. Dami Jones. Gabriel Jung. Kaoru Kaganoi. Rami Kahali. With distinction, Leonidas Kanelopoulos. Deuk Kang. Michal Kaniewski. Malini Kanan. Hunain Kapadia. With distinction, Konrad Jaroslav Kapelusz. Kyle Keene. Yannick Keller. Liran Kashketchan. Mavra Adil Khan. Nikhil Kosla. Avneet Kurmi. With distinction, Mark Kiel. Sam Kim. Genki Kimura. Tarun Kinra. Dario Kirola. Timo Klein. Nina Klišević. Robert Knight. With distinction, Jimmy Ko. Aditya Kochar. Konstantinos Konstantinidis. Phil Koretz. Neda Kostadinova. Christina Kostopoulos. Gustavo Kowalski. Jiri Krivacek. With distinction, Minal Kumar. Tarek Lababidi. With distinction, Raphael Lam. Victor Lam. Marcelo Leal. Diogo Leal de Faria. Andrew Lee. Jenna Lee. Andreas Lehmann. With distinction, Marc Christian Lemnitz. José Ricardo Leon Lee. Nicole Petaleong. With distinction, Florence Lepelletier. Eric Lepke. With distinction, Johannes Lehrmann. Ming Li. Leslie Lim. Gustavo dos Santos Lima. Albert Lin. Jean Loubinou. Antonio Loreda Santidrian. With distinction, Zhong Yang Lu. Alessandro Lualdi. With distinction, Gorshin Singh Luthra. We are halfway through, and it's my pleasure to hand over to Andy.
Thank you, Sven. Okay, is everybody ready? Harsh Madipatla. Lucas Madrinian. Prerna Malhotra. Nikhil Malavabaru. With distinction, Shiksha Man. Diota Marsudi. Jonathan Martel Gagnon. Robin Martens. Sergio Massano. Matteo Mastinu. Roderick Martin Meyer. Stephen Thiessen. Badara Ali Mete. Fabrizio Memoli. Gonzalo Menendez. Tiago Mesquita. Gabrielle Michelin. Olga Miloserdova. Ludmila Mironosetskaya. Devansh Mittal. Dipti Mohanan. Wenje Mok. Syed Momtaz. Annalisa Monsen. Kimberly Montgomery. Rodolfo Mortian. Geraldine Mortemar de Boisset. Niha Mujib. Taponil Makirji. Hamza Munir. Shazil Nakvi. Sartaj Shyam Narang. Aurelian Narminio. Belinda Shadi Nabi. Fiorella Bonicelli. Tatiana Nesterchuk. Bao Nguyen. With distinction, Tatiana Nikiforova. Also with distinction, Jens Norterschauser. Narguez Normansuri. Mejit Noyan. Mo Unsuli. Lakeni Stilingila. With distinction, Miguel Nunez. Rotimi Odubogun. Borja Olazabal. Stephen Oldroyd. Give it up for the fabulous Kemi Onabanjo. Jack Orr Ewing. Andre Ottaviano. Nabil Udgiri. Ozan Ozpinar. Teren Pan. Juan Andres Panama. Shaili Pankaj. Bruno Pantaleao. Aline Papucci. Sneha Parikh. Bihar Parikh. Kaustubh Parkar. Simone Paravicini. Zeke Patterson. Offense Pelle. Thomas Penny Koblenz. Jose Ferrero. Jonathan Percal. Yoel Perlman. Irene Peschel. Yana Petrova. Alex Pham. Flavio Vieira. Ashwarya Podar. Katarina Podlesnaya. Antoine Poisson. With distinction, Alistair Potgieter. Juban Pour. Rachel Lara Pregun. Philip Preslauer. Felipe Pugas. Pierre Nicolas Cairou. Istvan Rab. Chloe Rezzo. Bramjot Raheja. With distinction, Anand Ramachandranan. Santosh Sivakumar. Sergei Rostoropov. Bastien Ravandisan. Peter Riaidi. Paulo Ribarino. Duarte Ricciardi. And Philippa Ricciardi. Connor Roche. Eduardo Rodriguez. Ole Christian Red. Cesar Rojas. Nicola Romano. Ioannis Rosonis. With distinction, Thomas Rowland. Also with distinction, Heinrich Roche. Reda Seber. Omar Sader. Paco Sahuquillo. Karim Sayun. Rafael Samut. Sujin Samuel Saj. With distinction, Pisan Sanya de Chakul. Pim Sariwiwatana. Antonia Sariska. Mattia Savage. Kyle Schmick. Christopher Schoenbach. Jocko Sherbers. Hagen Schuf. Tamara Sidile. Sultan Saitbekov. Proma Sen. Adriano Ceroni. Luis Cerzadelo de Almeida. Giulia Settembrino. Felix Shafigolan. Sorab Pankaj Kumar Shah. Pranav Sharma. Chetna Shastri. Or Luis Shemtov. Gaojun Shen. Wataru Shimazaki. Osama Schlief. Sneha Shrestha. Kosta Shishkin. Chu Se. Close enough. With distinction, Alexander Simmons. Gustavo Araujo. Ankur Singh. Bhuvnesh Pratap Singh. Neha Singh. Prabdeep Singh. Ketan Sinha. Sandeep Siwach. With distinction, Anastasia Soldatova. With distinction, the amazing Will Sorby, everyone.
Thank you, brother.
Georgios Spiroglou. Kara Stoffel. With distinction, Noortje Strak van Schijndel. Nevina Strelkova. Karina Strelo. John Su. There you go. Pat Supaasa. Kaushik Subramanian. Divya Sukumar. Marina Sushentseva. Karim Tajdin. Cindy Tan. Jacqueline Tao. Marcelo Tavares. I have to start this one early. It takes a long time to say. Pedro Felipe Tavares Ramos. Christopher Taylor. Wei Xiong Chiu. Ryan Teo. Aparna Tadani. Aminata Tiam. Archit Tiwari. Sophie Toledano. The fabulous Rocio Trujillo Alba. Augustin Tualion. With distinction, Jérôme Turcotte Routier. Amit Tiagi. Roberto Francisco Valdez. With distinction, Andreas van Bram. Also with distinction, Renier van Ruyen. Sudhira van Guri. Bert van Halewick. With distinction, George Van Jans. Jose Vargas. Pedro Marchante. Maria del Carmen Velarde. Gayatri Venkataraman. Tessa Venter. Mansi Verma. The fabulous Stephanie Vermeer. Alexandra Viala. Simone Vigano. Pablo Vilalba Hernandez Franch. Perrine Vincent. Raphael Wanderly. Christine Wang. Lin Wang. Flora Wang. Making our way through the Wang section, Chin Chung Season Wang. With distinction, Tianyi Tiger Wang. Also with distinction, Clara Verne. Monica Winsell. Conrad Winiarczyk. Chiming Eric Xiang. Haoren Jonathan Xu. Yun Xu. Alice Young. Lei Young. Chung-An Stephen Young. Yao Chung Young. Basar Yenidunya. Timothy Yo. Reiren Li Lin Yonekura. Yuki Yoshinaga. Jia Yu. Wenyun Yuan. I have to start this one early. Sylvia Luna Izaguirre Sanchez. Andrea Zaccardi. The next Mark Zuckerberg, Tom Zakarski. Daniel Zachman. Hassan Zainal +1. Miran Zakir. With distinction, the fabulous Barbara Zaleska. Alejandro Zamudio. With distinction, Marek Zegmen. Guang Zhan. Cheryl Ferran Zhang. Yuan Yuan Zhang. Yuan Chen, Cynthia Zhao. Sally Yixia Zhao. Shunhao Michael Zhu. Janie Jie Zhuang. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just handed out the last diploma of the class of 16J.
Now, can I please ask the graduates to stand up? We're going to do the hat throwing in a second. So take your hats. On behalf of the INSEAD faculty and board, I hereby declare the MBA class of July 2016 as officially graduated!